What if your last words were a lie you told yourself? She is crawling, legs trembling, whispering that she is still going. A hooded figure in a dark blue cloak stands above a ruined world. Rank 1 in Battle of Summoners. This is Jinugod. That is his name now. Messages flood in from top rankers. One of the 5 emperors, Baek, begging to know if the 99th floor is done yet. A white whale, ultimate skill unleashed. Ice and storm part around it. The server itself goes quiet for one shocked heartbeat. Purple light erupts across the battlefield. Jinugod stands at the center, cloak torn, staff raised, carving the sky open. Other top rankers react in real time. Janos calls it insane. Another begs him to sell the secret, offers anything for a glimpse. A golden-winged angel and a dark-winged one clash above him. Feathers rain. Nobody else in the game has summons like these. The whale circles him again, calm and colossal. A boss-tier pet that obeys only him. Everyone else is watching a legend write itself. Baek of the 5 emperors leaves another message. This reality is turning into the world of summoners. Nobody listens yet. Fire erupts through the tower. The 100th floor shatters around him, debris and gold light consuming the last boss arena. A gold notification slams down across his phone. Tower of Trials. 100th floor, cleared. His hand trembles holding it. He is on a city street now, arms thrown skyward, screaming it. I cleared it. Strangers stop walking. Something about his voice. He spins in the street, laughing, phone held high like a trophy. Passers-by stare. Nobody else knows what he just conquered. He is flushed, eyes wet with relief. Time to say goodbye to this rotten game. Time to finally have a life again. He thinks one last brag to the veterans before he quits. The gold clear notification glows in his palm. Warm and final. A chubby man gasps behind him. A woman points. A tall stranger turns pale. Everyone is staring at something he has not seen yet. He looks up. Above the city, blue light. The same notification, writ enormous. Tower of Trials, floating between skyscrapers. The message rotates in the sky. Impossible and beautiful. The beta test will now conclude. 5 words that end the old world. Sweat runs down his jaw. Why is a game screen hanging over the real sky? Why does he feel it watching back? Red scrolls fall like blood on the crosswalk. Strangers pick them up, laughing nervously. Jinugod's stomach drops. He reads the glowing label on the scroll. Summoning scroll. His breath stops. He has seen that item in the game 1,000 times. A young couple turns the scroll over. Some kind of event. Let us tear it. They are smiling. They have no idea. A dark smile spreads across a stranger's face as fingers slide into the red paper. Hungry, deliberate. This is not curiosity anymore. Jinugod lunges, hand outstretched. No. If you tear that, the words are already too late. His voice breaks on the warning. The scroll rips. White-gloved fingers pulling it apart, red paper falling in two. The sound hangs in the air like a guillotine. His own pale hand hangs over white cloth, blood pooling beneath. The association insisted on more high-ranking summons. They got exactly what they asked for. A woman steps into a bedroom carrying fruit and a knife. His mother. She freezes. Someone is in the bed. Wrong. Not breathing right. He is in a hospital bed. Bandages wrapping his skull. Eyes open. Someone shouts that Jinugod just woke up. The room floods with relief. One eye, wide open, iris pale as glass. The news he heard on opening his eyes was truly shocking. Not pain, realization. That EX-grade summon belongs to his dad. Someone whispers through the door. His father has one. His father has power in this new world. Rachel, world rank 1, blonde and grim at a press conference. They must find South Korea's Jinugod, or the world turns over again. A blue system prompt floats in front of him. Would you like to begin the tutorial? Yes. No. The game is asking him directly. His mother reaches for him, eyes pleading. A tall man beside her looks stricken. No, Mom, he says, quiet. It is already too late to stop. He does not have anything yet. He does not fully understand. But when it comes to this game, he is confident he is already the best. 3 years after the system swallowed the world, a discharged soldier sits alone at his desk, hunting rankings only he can remember. He scrolls through every article about the new era, every name at the top of the ladder, looking for a face that matches the one he used to wear. The system rewrote the planet. Monsters stalk ruined streets, summons walk beside ordinary people, and the world adapted the way worlds always do, quickly and without him. None of them, he thinks, would ever be as skilled as me. It is not pride. It is a measurement, cold and exact. A new prompt blinks awake on his monitor. In that case, shall we get started? He chooses yes without hesitating. His shoes hit gravel in an empty clearing bathed in gold light. No witnesses, no rivals, no one to see what he is about to try. He had to come somewhere nobody would interrupt him. Whatever happens here is meant to stay a secret a little while longer. The reward window unfurls. A low-grade summoning scroll, 2 of them, a warning not to open it outside. He is already smiling at the warning. Useful, he whispers. Please be something useful. Even Ilchin himself has to beg a piece of paper now, and he knows it. The scroll contains summons ranked F to A with wild variants. To roll an EX grade from this trash tier paper, the odds sit at 1%. Please, please, give me a useful one. The strongest man in the old world is begging a piece of paper for a crumb. A D rank would be enough, even an E rank. His pupils tremble as he forces the words out like a man bartering with fate. He tears the seal. Red paper splits with a sound like thunder, and the air around him begins to hum. Wind rushes past his face. Something inside the scroll has heard him. Did it work? He turns the torn halves over, staring at a blue glow that should not exist inside paper this cheap. Blue energy explodes upward from his hands. He stumbles back, teeth gritted, the wind tearing at his coat. The system announces into empty air. Player Baek Jinwoo has obtained. Gold light floods the clearing. A tiny winged figure in a green dress yawns herself awake, blonde hair catching the sun. One sweat slick eye. One impossible number glowing in front of it. Obtained. Summon. Wind Fairy. Rated EX rank. A rank like that existed inside this kind of scroll? He whispers it, half in shock, half in disbelief at his own luck. She turns toward him and freezes. Her tiny hands fly to her mouth as the color drains from her cheeks. Wings blur into a frenzy. She launches into the air, spinning, laughing, screaming something the system does not translate. Jinwoo closes his eyes, brow damp with sweat. A summon is not supposed to act like this, not toward a stranger. You, he asks carefully. Are you by any chance Ramba? The fairy stops mid-flight. Every wing beat suddenly silent. Her eyes bloom into full teal moons. Wait, you really are the only person who used to call me that. Is that you, God Jinwoo? Full red bloom across her cheeks. Her smile cracks open into something that cannot decide between crying and laughing. She throws herself at him, tiny fists drumming against his temple. Do you know how much I missed you? Memory snaps into place. Of course. The E-rank Wind Fairy, level 69, species Fairy Tribe. A tag on her data reads isolated. Breaks balance in specific situations. The word lands on him like a key turning in a lock. Isolated, he murmurs. Not weak. Hidden. Locked away because the old gods knew what she could do. His old wound bleeds through. Why they sanctioned him? Why his reward vanished? Because he pulled a summon the world was not ready to accept. The fairy wipes her eyes. They just trapped us there, without even saying goodbye. Promise you will never leave me again. She clings to his collar, a blur of wings and tears, refusing to let go of a face she remembers from a lifetime ago. Jinwoo lets her cling. His eyes drift past her, already counting doors that have not been opened yet. She flusters, embarrassed by her own outburst, eyes darting around like a child caught confessing too much. He presses his temple, his head throbs, memories bleeding into each other, the old world and this one colliding inside his skull. She dries her eyes. Really? Then just tell me what you can remember. The tone shifts. He is not reminiscing anymore. He is debriefing. We were isolated, she says. All of us. Cut off from the rest of the summon pool like we were contagious. Are there other isolated summons besides you? The question hangs in the quiet air between them. Yeah, she answers, but we were never in the same room. Separated from each other too, so we could never coordinate. Probably, she guesses, around 10 of us. The number lands on him like a weight he has been waiting 3 years to pick up. That is insane, he thinks. No way. 10 EX grade summons, 10 hidden jackpots inside low-grade paper nobody respects. He stares at her silhouette inside the system card. All those summons, classified, isolated, buried by design. His fist closes around the second red scroll. Calm face, burning eyes, a plan already forming. Could it be that this is a leak from the 200th floor of the Tower of Trials, he wonders, using the low-grade scroll again. Lightning and thunder. The second scroll tears, and a hulking blue-furred gorilla lands in the clearing with a roar that scatters birds. Obtained! Hairy gorilla, F rank. Not it, he mutters. So the EX drop rate really is random. Fine, that can be engineered. Then as I thought, I will need to tear open as many scrolls as it takes to maximize the chance of pulling another EX rank. If I can get all the EX ranks, he thinks quietly, I might become stronger than I ever was as Ilchun. Ramba perches in the air beside the bewildered gorilla, beaming. Yeah, God Jinwoo. Her old voice, her old nickname, back from the vault. From now on, he says, stop calling me God Jinwoo. Just call me Jinwoo. Eh? Why? The fairy actually pouts. Because of the 5 emperors, he thinks, that old name is already spreading across the world again, and I am not ready to be found. No matter how superior my information is, I cannot say whether the 3-eyed one will vanish again or stay buried forever. If it is revealed that the Lord now controls EX rank summons too, I might become a target of envy and jealousy. Wind rattles the trees overhead. Birds scatter from a black silhouette. Something heavy has entered the clearing uninvited. He turns. The blue gorilla stands frozen on the path, staring at him with confusion it was not born to feel. The gorilla roars, panicked, while Ramba perches smug on its shoulder. She giggles. The tutorial just moved to its next step. A blue window blooms between the trees. A basic dungeon for beginners has been created. What now? Jinwoo whispers. He squares his shoulders, an EX rank summon at his side, a gorilla in tow, and the system is only just beginning to test him. Jinugod steps into a cavern, gravel cracking under his boots, and a cold voice in his skull asks if the dungeon has already swallowed him. A blue window blazes in the dark. Player Baek Jinwoo. You have entered the beginner dungeon. The system is done waiting on him. Sweat beads on his brow as the prompt hangs in the air. So it begins. He breathes, eyes locking onto the glow. The rules harden into law. Summons only. Max 5. 2 reckless souls against a dungeon is a coin flip with a skull on both sides. Jinugod has already done this run. In his head tens of thousands of times. Strategy is the only edge a rookie gets. His thumb hovers over the yes button. He taps it. The dungeon takes his answer as a promise. A tiny green-winged fairy bursts free beside a hulking blue-furred gorilla. EX rank Grace stands shoulder to shoulder with F rank Muscle. He mutters about the tutorial's usual monsters. Ramba flickers at his shoulder, listening. A growl rolls out of the dark. A starving gray wolf is prowling nearby. Defeat it, escape the cave. Simple words for a run that kills most rookies. Jinugod's gold eyes narrow. An F rank gray wolf. Low rank on paper but teeth that chew through rookies all the same. Golden runes spiral up his body. A protective shield is generated for the player. The system does the minimum, not the mercy. Red letters bleed across the screen. Attacked by a summon without a shield, you will die. The summons get armor, the humans get a warning. If he fails, it will not end with a game over screen. It ends with a corpse under stone, and no retry button. The wolf erupts from the dark, all teeth and red eyes. Jinugod barks the command. Harry, go. Attack. The blue gorilla roars and swings. The wolf snaps back, unfazed, already inside the gorilla's guard. The gorilla is a heartbeat behind. Too slow, Jinugod hisses. F rank Muscle is not enough in this dungeon. He turns to the real weapon. Ramba. The fairy spins free in a storm of green wings and glowing dust. Here goes, she grins, and a ring of wind pressure snaps around her staff, turning every swing into a blur. Harry roars back into the fight, every blue hair standing on end, eyes blown wide and hungry. The wolf that should have been F-rank balloons. Black fur, red streaks, a mouthful of crooked bone. According to the old records, there was only one wolf in here. Jinugod's eyes narrow. The records lied. He steadies his breath. What if reality is worse than the data? Good, he whispers. He planned for that too. Blood sprays in pink arcs as fangs rip into the gorilla. Harry howls. Ramba screams his name. The fairy dives, her staff glowing. This is the dual blow, she shouts, and the wolf staggers under her strike. Wind scythes across the cavern floor. Stone cracks. The beast slides back on its haunches, already bleeding out. Ramba lands on his shoulder, grinning, cheeks flushed with the thrill. The cave is suddenly very quiet. Below them, Harry presses the wolf into the stone, paws clamped around its throat, finishing the job. The gorilla throws his head back and roars, chest heaving, a victory scream that shakes the cavern walls. Hyang, we won! Ramba laughs, cartwheeling through green dust. Jinugod just stares, too stunned to smile yet. A new screen blooms. Dungeon clear. Reward. Lesser strength rune. 2 of them. I survived, he whispers. The city skyline burns orange. Thank you, see you next time. Somewhere a tower glitters, and the real world keeps moving. Inside a cozy cafe, a pink-haired girl fans a thick stack of bills. Jackpot, 200,000 won, cleared today. 3 years ago, the world cracked open with summons and dungeons. She found her angle. A rune farming player, a C-rank shadow elf she was lucky to pull, turned grinding low-level dungeons into a steady paycheck. Her phone buzzes in her palm. Jinwoo, Oppa. Incoming call. Huh, she blinks. It's Oppa. She lifts the phone to her ear, eyes wide in the orange dusk. Hello, Oppa. Have you been discharged? Yeah, I have Anyang Rin. I heard from Dad that you are a rune farmer. Her eyes snap open, cheeks flushing. Rune farming player, call me a rune hunter, she barks. He just chuckles on the other end, enjoying this. Anyway, he says, lowering his voice, do you know where the synthesis shop is? Her face goes serious. In the player zone, of course. When the towers rose, every skyscraper turned into a summon-related business. You know that Janil Tower and Hyundai Tower turned into towers of trials, right? She sips her drink, calm. And the player zone you are looking for is only located there, she says. Behind her, the city lights up. Jinugod settles across from her, fingers against his mouth, thinking. He hums, plans moving fast behind his eyes. By the way, Oppa, she asks, what rank was your summon? Effie, her eyes are bright, curious, proud. Oh, really? E has a 5% chance. She beams, stars practically shining off her cheeks. He looks away, half a grin, half a wound. Sorry, little sister, he thinks. It is a lie. He will not burden her with EX. I'll give you some pocket money later, he says. A small kindness from a man who just walked out of a dungeon. Who knows, he murmurs. I might just become the world's best player. She snorts. Yeah, right, Oppa. People say that geniuses like Rachel are born at the top. Chosen ones, she tells him. We will never be like that. Jinugod's eyes slit half shut, a dark and private smile curving his mouth. She has no idea what he is really holding. Reen stares out the window. Her brother is acting strange. The city twinkles behind her like a warning. I want to see what a player zone looks like for myself, he says, eyes on the tallest tower in the skyline. Oppa, what did you really pull? The sister's voice cuts through the cold street. Rin needs the truth, not another shrug. Wind Fairy, never heard of it. She tests the name on her tongue. A summon that rare doesn't exist in ordinary mouths, and she knows it. Light blooms in his palm. Ramba unfurls, laughing, a small storm in fairy skin. Don't be too shocked, she warns, already too late for that. You might not know this, Oppa, but anything above C rank is considered noble tier. She says it like a warning, because she knows who watches those lines. She stops him. Elves stay silent as tombs, that is the law. And yet she heard the fairy laugh. Something here does not match the manual. They can talk, mine does. He slips, almost casual. Rin clocks it instantly. The surprise on her face is bigger than the one from summoning. If Ramba speaks, maybe they all do. Rin's mind rockets forward. Nobody ever asked the summons because nobody ever thought to. Okay, now show me your summon, Oppa. She closes the gap, relentless. He has seen this face before, on interrogators who never lose. I showed you mine, so why? He stalls. He needs Ramba off the public radar, because one whisper of EX rank pulls every shark in the city. What a scammer. Rin huffs after him as the neon towers rise ahead. She's playing along. For now, when the Tower of Trials appeared, Rin recalls, the company that owned this block just tore the whole place down and built this on the grave. Why did you ask who'd want to play next to that gloomy tower? She squints up at it. To her, the answer is obvious. To him, it is strategy. Who would come to play? Rin cannot imagine the kind of person who picks a haunted tower as a date spot. Her brother could, apparently. Also, you're still a beginner, Appa. Her words mean well. They hit him like a wrench to the jaw he never flinches at. No, it's all right, little sis. There's nothing I can learn or be curious about. The neon replies with the same indifference he already has. Since I'll be stuck here, I might as well start raising my level from now on. Her brother's plan, quiet and sharp as a loaded needle. Yeah, you head back first. Thanks for the guide. He waves her off under the 4B factory sign. The real work starts once she is gone. Well, he's probably just trying to figure things out, so I guess all I can do is watch. Don't overdo it, Oppa. Call me if you need help. Got it. He slides into a dim service hall. No one will come around here, right? The air drops colder. Time to let the fairy breathe. Ha. What a life. He crouches against the wall, exhaustion bleeding through. Ramba hovers beside him, finally quiet, finally watching. His phone glows, a balance that can't get any worse than this. Even the dungeon system has better starting odds than his bank account. The phone screen flares and ticks, a clock in the dark. Pulling another summoning scroll costs cash he genuinely does not have. Even if it was an accident, he thinks, I almost emptied everything. Working part-time would be a waste of time. Damn it. Messages from Mom. He walks into a hospital room. 4 drip, quiet beep. All this time, Sis has been taking care of Mom on her own. He reaches for her hand. Open your eyes, please. Be healthy and well again. The ask is quiet. The stakes are his entire life. And make sure our whole family lives comfortable. A promise carved into him in a neon-lit alley. No one else will ever hear it. The other event is 3 years ahead. Every hunter in the world is already chasing it. He has to catch every minute before it arrives. To become the best, I'll have to act the part. The hood, the silence, the grind. He turns himself back into a weapon on purpose. I got an E rank. I'm pretty lucky, huh? He says it dry, eyes cold. Then the system card flares. The sludge floats up beside him. A poison lizard's cost effectiveness is decent. I'll just use this guy for a bit, then throw him away. Ramba beams. Brutal and efficient. You pull summons, equip runes, fight, level them up. Farm runes, tear scrolls. That's the whole post-growth system, laid bare. And then in the green dark beyond the tower, hollow-eyed shapes move fast. Ramba's smile fades. Something is already hunting the hunter. A white sneaker grinds shattered glass as the hooded returnee wonders out loud how much of this world is still real. The map pins a patch of forest outside the city, and he mutters that if this were a game, he could fast travel right to the gate. But this is reality, and reality never coded a skip button. So the boy with EX-grade power starts walking toward his first real trial. 2 eyes slit open in the dark, then neon floods across a wall, and a stunned voice asks what this place even is. The player zone is arcade lights and steel barriers, and some showboat flexes a summon in the middle of the floor while strangers stream past. A cartoon mascot squeaks out the rules in his memory. Everyone knows a summon alone will not let you enter a dungeon, right? A cool hand slams over his mouth from behind. His eyes flare, every muscle tensed for a fight he cannot afford to lose. Pink sparkles burst, and the tiny blonde wind fairy in the green dress whispers his old name. Jinwoo, hang in there. Ramba perches on his shoulder, confetti bright, and the returnee exhales as the weight in his chest loosens a notch. Thanks, Ramba, he says quietly. She grins so wide her eyes vanish, hearts popping like a fairy has any right to look this proud. The returnee steps out into the city night, rooftops sharp against a dark sky, and a familiar voice cuts through the quiet in his ear. He tells her he will eat on his own, then drops it casually. By the way, did you know about this whole player system? He-ok, that's right, Rin yelps, scrambling upright on the bed so fast her hair flies like she was just caught cheating on a quiz. Rin explains that the player resolution went through because so many civilians were dying in gates that the government finally snapped. That many people actually died, he asks. More than anyone can count, she tells him. Whole floors of hospitals were full for weeks. Now there are world rankings, she says, and in his quiet room a blue flame summon flickers behind Bone, listening with him. She rattles off a leaderboard. Rachel Rose sits at rank 1 with Yoshida Hikaru, William Genos, and a whole shelf of living legends. Her voice goes dreamy. If the legendary Jinugod ever showed up, our country would climb that list overnight. Thanks for telling me, sis, he says flatly, while the blue flame flickers and he swallows down the punchline of her own joke. Neon towers climb above him and he whispers to himself, well, he has prepared properly for now. The rest is just execution. Footsteps creak through the apartment. His mother works at the counter while his father sits at the table with a newspaper and coffee. He kneels at the entryway, pulling sneaker laces tight the way a man ties them when today might take him away from home. I'm sorry, he says into the floor, for only showing you my bad side all this time. The words weigh more than any sword he will carry. His father's brow furrows over the newspaper while his mother fusses over breakfast. Don't worry, the government is training people now. A news feed on his phone pulses a headline. Kwon Mo-sun and 4 others dead inside a dungeon. Just another morning in the new world. Packed between strangers on the subway, he thinks it plainly. So many people, dying only because of delusions of easy gold. Some stranger behind him snorts. Honestly, it sounds a bit pathetic. Wasn't it scary at all? The returnee doesn't even blink. Glass booths line the player zone, a long snaking queue, and a clerk leans out with a tired smile. Next person, please. A hand slides a qualification slip across the counter, dense with stamped fields, the first piece of paper that decides who lives. He leans in quietly. "Excuse me," he asks the clerk, "how many people can actually receive player qualification today?" "Only the ones who pass the final test earn the player title," she tells him, "and about 4,000 will show up to try." He stares at his own faint reflection in the glass and thinks, if I can't even pass this one thing, what was that past life even worth? Across town, a cafe hums with quiet chatter while a sharp-eyed man in a crisp shirt watches the player zone through a window. Park Chung-sok, a judge affiliated with headquarters, smiles faintly. Only 50 pass, 4,000 walk in, and the man the world forgot is about to walk right past them all.